Hello everyone, welcome. 7.39D. That's pretty hype. It's been a while since we've had a patch, so always excited for these. Let's look at it. Let's look at it together. I'm discovering it as we talk, so let's dive straight into it. General changes. Terrain changes. Increased spawn box of Triangle Ancients Camp. Alright, that's pretty good, I think. Fixed ward spot in Radiant Safely in Hard Camp. I think that's the, the infamous ward we all got annoyed at. The tree, I don't even have to check it, I'm sure. They're looking at patching it, this one. And remove several trees from the inside corner of the Dire Safely in Small Camp. No cares. I'm much more interested in that. Items and heroes. Blade Mail, basically less damage bonus, okay. Damage return, passive attack damage return decreased. So on Blade Mail nerfs, makes sense. Happy about that one. Dragonlance has been nerfed too. Pike the same. 10 range is not the biggest deal, but it matters. I think these are super popular items right now, so they're just balancing it out. Glimmer Cape cooldown increased. Sure. Disarm duration on Heaven's Halberd has been increased. Okay, this item has fallen out of favor, to be honest. So I like that they're buffing it. I think it's a very cool item. And it's been like the build up is still really good. I think the item was just the active was not that great, so we might see a pretty decent comeback on Heaven's Halberd. Not that I think about it. 3.5 second disarm on melee target is a lot, I think. So actually I'm gonna keep my eyes on the value of Heaven's Halberd. Maelstrom chain 19 no longer deals bonus damage. Oh wow, that's a big one. Okay, that's a really big one actually, I think. Okay, so Maelstrom and Mjolnir are really nerfed against Elo heroes. Interesting. Maybe it was too strong because it felt like when you're playing an Elo hero, one Mjolnir and you're kind of done. So we'll have to see how big of a buff it is, indirect buff to Elo heroes. Mask of Madness, okay. Doctrine, that's whatever. Protect mana costs. Okay, they're buffing Pivis. I'm surprised they're buffing this item because it's already quite good. They're buffing the mana cost of it, so maybe it's a buff, like they're trying to push it onto a core hero buy, but I don't think it's ever going to be like you buy it early. When this item came out, like the first time, I thought of buying it, on the lane, rushing it on an offlaner, so you can also defend your support even when you play core. If it's only 60 mana, I would consider it, maybe. I'm gonna try it in pubs eventually. Phylactery, okay, they keep buffing Phylactery Conda, and Witchblade nerf, not the biggest deal, honestly. But Witchblade is such a good item. Alright, neutral change. I'm always a bit lazy to read those, but let's go through them. Sister Shroud nerfed a lot. That's good. Gale Guard nerfed. That's good. Helm of the Undying nerfed. That's good. Psychic buff. Keen Idle disable duration on the... Oh, okay. I didn't even know actually. It get disabled and take damage, lol. Good to know. Self-exam mana cost. Okay, that's okay. I actually like everything they're nerfed. I think these items were a little bit out of balance. Enchantment changes. Health regen. Okay, that's whatever. Too small for me to care. Hero changes. Abaddon. Little nerf on the talent. Sure. Not gonna change much. Mana cost increased on the Berserker Skull. Axe already has a lot of mana issues, so that's a little bit annoying. Kill armor bonus decreased by 10 armor. That's a lot. But to be fair, if you get the ulti. Okay, so interesting nerfs on Axe. We'll have to see. I'm not sure how much this is going to matter. Definitely decent ones, I would say. But less Agi. And less damage at level 1, and flame break radius. That hurts. The spell is already hard to hit sometimes. Aye. Okay. Sangivore, Aghanim Scepter, heal on pure damage is increased. Okay. Well, this hero I think is underrated. And damage increased on Bloodright. Okay, that's a big deal because you have to keep in mind Bloodright is pure damage already. So this Bloodseeker hero is getting stronger and stronger. So look out for Bloodseeker. I think it's gonna make a comeback for sure. Bounty Hunter, track bonus gold, really buffing the track. I feel like it's already super strong. That's surprising. CM, buffing the CM ulti. Sure, on level 1. Okay, that's a little bit whatever. Same as level 3. I feel like you don't really get to click it anyway. Willow, Shadow Realm, allies can no longer target that Willow while active. Okay, well, that sounds pretty fair. Please nerf this hero. Cooldown reduction decreased. Okay. Not enough, in my opinion. Disappointing. I wanted more nerfs on Dawn. Dazzle. We've decreased. Okay, that's good. And that's good. Okay, these are actually pretty sizable nerfs and much required. Bonus gold. Okay, it matters. Earth Spirit. Minimum base damage increased by Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, they rescaled it. Mana cost increased on Searing Chains by a little bit. Comes later. So first level is the same. So I don't think it matters so much, especially with the build up for Embers these days. Like they buy Kaya Sange a lot, so I don't think this is gonna matter much, if I'm honest. Maybe they're trying to nerf a build, but I can't really think of which one. Enchantress experience bounty on creep cast increased. Okay, 35 to 40. It's starting to become quite significant. So, you know, jungling a lot with Ench, like, you know, missing and taking creeps in the jungle looks pretty viable. Chronosphere cooldown decreased. Okay, that's on big spells like this, it always matters. And same for time zone, 5 seconds across the board. Okay, they're trying to buff Void. And time lock, ooh, that's a big one, from 12 to 18. So like a 50% increase on level 1 time lock bonus damage. Very interesting. The cooldown, 6-second cooldown decrease overall on level 1, and then it scales to 4 and 2 and none. Okay, nice. Trying to make this build viable. Very annoying against some heroes, like in some lanes. Inkswell, max stun duration, buffed a little bit. So they're buffing level 1 spells for some heroes. They're trying to make some heroes more viable in like laning wise, from what I see, right? Like the Void, level 1, a lot of level 1 buffs also. Level 1 spells, I mean. Interesting. Cooldown decreased on spirits. Yeah, I mean, nobody plays with spirit these days, and except core IOs, of course, but core IOs, but they're not so. But the same mechanic here, you see it too, right? Level 1 is the bigger focus. And all these are pretty weak laners, considered weak laners. So I like that idea. Timebringer, cleave range, nice. Well-deserved buff. Eclipse cooldown, a little buff, 5 seconds less. I mean, Luna also hard trying to make a comeback. Maximum boning, wow, okay, so cool. Same, level 1, buffing Mirana's laning phase. Nice one. Yeah, nerf the monkey, changing out the guard, that makes sense. Aghanim short portion of primal spling max power decreased from 60 to 40, okay. Also fair and quite significant, I would say. Deluge duration, okay, decreased at first and then goes back to normal. I like it too. They're basically adjusting everything that's been a little bit too strong, you know. Song of the Siren, rages decreased. Oh, I don't really like that, to be honest. I feel like this is kind of all this hero offers. I didn't feel like 1,000 was too big, but whatever. This one I'm not the biggest fan of. Agility decreased, sure. Heal per second decreased, thank god. Sprout damage decreased. Decreased? I don't see the decrease there. Okay, from level 2. Well, that's very little. Okay. Necro, I hope they buff this hero. Health regen per kill increased. And slow rages decreased. Wow. They're nerfing Ghost Route. Level 20 talent, impale damage. Buffing level 20 talents. That's too specific. This hero is dead before he gets there, so I think this is completely irrelevant, if I'm honest. Level 10 lucky shot armor from 4 to 3. It is what people are playing around now these days, I guess. So they're balancing it out. Blur cooldown, I don't know. I haven't seen that being used so much, so I don't really have an opinion on this one. Cooldown decreased 36 to 35. Okay. I'm gonna pretend I didn't read it. Agility gain decreased from 2.5 to 2.3. Yes, whatever puck nerf I see, I'm happy. I think this hero deserves to be like completely blasted. They need to blast the puck down like completely. I don't want to see his hero dominate anymore. It's been forever. But maybe the Witchblade plus this, you know, it starts adding up. Who knows? Range for max. Okay, nice. That's a pretty decent nerf. But I think the other facet is the real issue. So what can you know? What can you do? Sanking base strength increased by 1. And Sandstorm. That's pretty decent. The AoE is good. I mean, Rages, it, you know, obviously it's a circle. So it adds up pretty quickly. So that part is pretty interesting. Cast range on disruption buff. Okay, lovely, much needed. A little bit of love to Shadow Demon. Base armor decreased on SF and the aura. How did they fix that? Reduction 1. Really, that's it. We'll take everything we can get, but is it enough? Massive Serpent Ward. Okay, more base attack time. Nice. They killed the Roshan thing. I have to see it, but I think this should be enough. Silencer. Wow. I don't think that was necessary, but sure. Aghanim shard numbers of bolt increased from 2 to 3. Oh, that's a lot actually. Topson's gonna play some Skyrath. Snapfire, Cookie. Yeah, same. You know, big buff level 1, and then it evens out. Okay. Base damage increased by 3. That's like, that's whatever. Okay, that's whatever. We need like spells. buffs, not this. Intelligence gain increased from 2.8 to 3. Sure. Base damage decreased by 2-3. Level 25 talent melt bash duration. Okay, a little bit of a nerf. It didn't come back for a while, but nice. Nice, nice. 30 seconds. That's awesome. That's cool. Very needed. Tinker needs to be nerfed, I think. It's not balanced correctly. Shin Protector. 10 damage on the ulti. Why not? Why not? Zombies summoned by the facet effect now die. One undying dice. That sounds pretty fair. I like that. Zombie vision range decreased from... Okay, that's good too. It was way too strong. I don't know if it might still be too strong, but you know, a step in the right direction. Level 10 decay damage decreased from 40 to 30. So what matters here is, can you still one-shot range creeps? You know, like, you kind of have to see this on creep waves, to be honest. I can't really test it in demo because the creeps are too weak. Ursa. Okay. Health as damage rescaled. Pretty significantly. Like, level 4 remains level 1, so... You know. Aghanim Shard. Okay. I think this is, you know, decent, but Ursa is still gonna be Ursa. Vengeful Spirit. Base damage increased by 2, and then I rescale it, and Agirigichi gain decreased, so nerfing Venge. Buffing the Nether Toxin from Viper. That's pretty cool. Also needed, I think. And Reincarnation, slow duration, nerf. That's like some Herald stuff. Because this hero's already not being played a lot, but whatever. And Heavenly Jump, increase the leap distance on level 1 sim. Okay, so I like it. I think pretty good patch. Like a lot of balancing. They nerfed the heroes that were really, you know, auto control, and a lot of heroes have been buffed on level 1, especially like level 1 spells, like early stage of the game, to make them maybe better laners and therefore more viable, because these heroes have a lot to offer to the game in general, but they're just hard to play because the laning phase is so hard. So I think I like the direction actually a lot. They're trying to make more heroes like enter the meta, basically. You know, notably Grimstroke, Bloodseeker. I mean, he's not a weak laner, but he's the one that got the most buffs. You know, some Mirana, Io. What else did they, you know, buff a little bit? Sanking, Snap. So overall, very nice. Zeus. These are heroes that you don't really see at all these days, and they're actually very strong. When you see them in some pubs, you feel the power, but they're just hard to make work. So excited to see what this leads to. Let's test it out in pubs pretty soon. You know, join me in doing so. See you soon.